Today, we're going inside a deal that blurs the lines between rockets and code and asks a bigger question about what kind of company SpaceX is becoming. SpaceX has agreed to acquire AI startup Cursor at a deal valued at up to $60 billion with alternate structure that would see it pay $10 billion purely for collaborative efforts if full buyout doesn't materialize. Cursor has been one of Silicon Valley's fastest growing AI darlings, and folding it into SpaceX could supercharge the company's internal AI coding tools as it gears up for a potential record breaking IPO. It would also give SpaceX's sister company, xAI, a stronger footing against OpenAI and Anthropic in a race to build frontier models. As Cursor president Oskar Schulz puts it, we think together we can scale up our model efforts. What? Welcome to Business Insights Daily. I'm your host, Sashank. What does a company want with a $60 billion AI lab? As you listen, keep this question in the back of your mind. If your core product is hardware that leaves the planet, why spend tens of billions on software that writes more software? What problem is SpaceX really trying to solve? The deal in plain English. SpaceX struck an agreement that, at its most ambitious, would buy Cursor outright for $60 billion, a number that would instantly rank among the largest tech acquisitions ever. Into the deal is an alternative. If, for regulatory, financial, or strategic reasons, the full acquisition doesn't go through, SpaceX still commits around $10 billion to a deep, long-term collaboration with Cursor. In other words, Path A, Cursor becomes part of the SpaceX xAI family with stratospheric valuation. Path B, Cursor remains independent, but SpaceX is effectively its anchor customer, with a $10 billion commitment to build and use Cursor's models and tools. Cursor brings a rapidly improving AI coding assistant and development environment, mean that proven it can tools beloved by engineers, and mass in early stage with promising large model capabilities focused on helping people build and debug major coding systems. SpaceX brings real-world safety-critical software products, rockets, satellite, ground systems, and simulations, massive computer needs and access to capital, and sister AI research company in xAI, which is already training its own large AI models. This is about better rockets, an AI story for investors, which sets up a second question. How much of this is genuinely about improving SpaceX's designs and flies hardware, and how much is about walking into a future IPO and saying, we're not just a rocket company, we're an AI company too? Cursor isn't just a generic AI startup. It's one of the go-to names in AI-assisted software development. At its core, Cursor offers an AI-native coding environment that can read and write large code bases. Tools that let engineers ask questions about their code, refactor, generate tests, and track changes with AI help. Integrations that make it easy to use AI, not just for snippets, but for orchestrating multi-file, multi-service changes. Why does that matter to SpaceX? Think about everything at SpaceX that is, at the end of the day, code. Flight software, rocket. Control system for Starlink satellite. Ground segment systems that track and communicate within vehicles. Simulation environments for testing new designs and failure modes. And internal tools that can coordinate manufacturing and launch operations. If Cursor's tools can reliably help engineers understand complex legacy systems faster, suggest safer or more efficient changes, and catch bugs and inconsistencies earlier, then you're not just saving time. You're potentially improving reliability in a business where failure is spectacularly public and very, very expensive. And for xAI, Cursor is a ready-made product service, an environment where models can be embedded and tested in some of the hardest real-world software problems around. AI league table, xAI till the upstart. OpenAI and Anthropic have head starts in large-scale training, deep integrations with big platforms and enterprises, and well-established developer ecosystems. Cursor gives xAI and SpaceX a few things they don't fully have yet. Beloved developer product. Instead of just offering raw APIs, they get environment programmers already use for hours a day. Data and feedback. Coding assistants generate incredibly rich training signals. What xAI suggestions are accepted, edited, or rejected at scale. A differentiated focus. While others are fighting over generating chatbots, combined xAI Cursor SpaceX stack can focus on AI for building complex systems, from software to rockets. Its President Oskar Schulz summed it. We think we can make a model of our model efforts. Under the hood, it likely means more computer trained, bigger and more specialized models, real world deployment in high stakes environment, and a narrative that says we're not trying to copy OpenAI, building AI that builds the future's infrastructure. When AI is building AI, who's really in charge? Which brings us to our third and final question. We are hooking up AI coding systems to a system that runs rockets, satellites, and global internet. How do you make sure that humans stay firmly in control, that you don't accidentally automate your ways into a new kind of risk? Take a step back and ask, why is SpaceX of all companies the buyer? There's already strategic layer. Number one, vertical integration on compute and code. SpaceX already designs its own hardware and must have its own software. Bringing AI assistant code in-house pushes that integration deeper. In the same organization, designs rocket engines, also owns the tools that help write the software controlling them. And three, talent magnet. High-profile AI acquisition signals top ML and software engineers. This is the place where you can work on cutting-edge models and physically ambitious projects, not just web apps. It shifts the talent marketplace entirely. And three, IPO and optics reality. If and when SpaceX goes public at a historic valuation, being able to tell a credible AI story matters. It isn't just about dressing up as one. It's about convincing investors that SpaceX has multiple engines for growth, launch, Starlink, and now AI-powered cooling and services. And number four, leverage across Musk ecosystem. Cursor capabilities can, in theory, be used across Tesla, xAI, and other Musk entities, creating a shared AI tooling layer that multiplies across multiple businesses. This kind of project has combinations that open doors and raises eyebrows. The opportunities, faster iteration and critical systems. AI can explore more design options, test more scenarios, and surface odd edge cases humans might miss. Higher development productivity. With the right guardrails, engineers can spend more time on architecture and less on boilerplate and refractors. And three, new product. Cursor style tools should be adapted for aerospace, telecom, and defense clients, turning internal capabilities into external revenue streams. However, the risks are over-reliance on AI for critical safety code. If AI suggestions slip through without rigorous review, still bugs could propagate into systems where failure has real-world consequences. Cultural friction. SpaceX is known for intense, hands-on engineering culture. Without integrating a fast-moving AI startup without alienating existing streams is non-trivial. And three, regulators and investor scrutiny. Combining a major space contractor with a powerful AI coding engine may attract attention from safety regulators and policymakers who read about how AI is used in infrastructure. How those are managed will determine whether the cursor tier becomes a textbook sample of visionary integration or a cautionary tale about misaligned expectations. So, next time you watch SpaceX launch, hear about a new AI coding assistant, remember that tools like Cursor might be worth imagining the invisible links between the two. Lines of code written with machine help, models trained on the process, and the companies betting of the future of hard tech won't be built by humans AI working side by side. Stay informed, stay ahead. We'll talk tomorrow. Thank you for listening. I'm your host, Shank.